The reports are that the counter killings have taken place. 2 people have died in that, and the families are very, very upset. Reports are coming; they're refusing to take back the bodies. On this issue, getting into other details, since my panelists have already joined me. Michael Lamjatang Haukip, social activist, Professor Xavier P. Mao, political commentator, and P.K. Mishra, former ADG BSF. They all join me. Let me straight away go to them. Mr. Mishra, are you surprised by this, the reported counter killing that has taken place?
Yes, it was supposed to happen. This is what at Kamjong it has happened in Kultuk village. In fact, I can tell you it's very close to the border. It is between border pillar 112 and 113. And of course, there are so many theories in this. I'm not going to confirm, but the theories I'm telling you, yes, they are telling that it may be done by NIA and IM. But there are certain issues, I can well tell you that it is just opposite to Molnoi Cookie Belt, just opposite to Myanmar, and it is KNB who has penetrated, and it will be Cookie narco-terrorist elements are involved in this, and it is a faction, it is a clash between KNP and KNB. That is the faction which were operating in that particular belt, because that belt is not guarded. Neither it is guarded nor fencing has been done. Only 50 kilometers fencing has been done in that border. So we have to be very sure. NHC and IM has clearly told they have not done it. But anyway, people are telling it is the work of NHC and IM or JDF. But I got the information also that it is a clash between KNFP and KNB. Who have penetrated from Molnai Cookie village, just opposite to that of boundary plan 112, 113. It may be a fact and not be a fact. But in fact, it's very serious.
Basically, the point you have making is that it has happened close at the border.
Very close to the border.
Mr. Haukip, what effect is this development having on the valley, sir?
Katike from the Imphal Valley right now, presently, everybody mourned, 6 Nagas who have been abducted and who have been kept for, last 29 days. And then later on, their bodies were found in a very, unexpected way. So, but the reaction coming from Imphal is very clear that whosoever did it, that such type of anti-peace elements have to be eliminated, and that has been more into the Kuki militants group side. Most of the violence have been coming from the Kuki militants group side. That is the main reason why the SOO agreement, the engagement between the Kuki militants and the Indian government has been always, challenged by the Meiteis here in Imphal Valley. And on the other hand, you see the MSFC is very clear. The involvement of that Deputy CM's husband, Thangboy, was also very eminent. And that is the main reason why the Imphal Valley people, there you have seen lots of rally here in Imphal going against, militants' wife being part of the government. And people has been saying that that is the main reason why, despite government knows the whereabouts of the 6 missing or abducted bodies, they have been kept, and that the position of the Deputy Chief Minister in the government has been used as a leverage for the criminals, to hide out, and that gives a kind of a partiality in the government. So this type of reactions are all coming here in Imphal, especially from the Meiteis. And whenever on the issue of these 6 abducted Nagas, the Meiteis and the Nagas, the Thados, whosoever who have been joining here together, and it has been perceived by the Kuki groups that it's like forming a kind of another, joint front to annihilate and target the Kukis. No, that is not the case. We are just joining here together to fight for justice, irrespective of which communities.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Professor Mao, what are the updates you're getting from the various Naga organizations, sir?
A particular Naga tribe called Zelerong, civil society has issued an advisory telling the Kukis that at this point of time, they should be avoiding crossing towards the Naga areas because there are certain individuals who might do harm to them. So I think that is a very welcome sort of advisory issued by the Zeleron civil society. And then, of course, the Konsakul villagers, particularly the women who were relieved, they were really very, very angry, saying that one day they were given meat, which were very, very unusual, and they strongly suspected that the meat were the husband, their husband, or their brothers.
So
meat
let's not talk about unverified things which can fuel great public
that is
anger.
what I said. That's what I said. Strong suspicion.
Let's not use that. Let's not go there. I mean to say that I'm really sorry. I don't interrupt my panelists, but this can fuel public anger. I mean to say these are hearsay things.
You're right, Karki. Precisely that is the reason why I am saying the public anger has risen high due to such suspicion also. I'm stating only the fact.
Okay, the public people, relatives, they might believe it, but till it's said by the agencies, nothing of that sort happens. You know, I always take that position in journalism. Till it's officially proved, it has not happened.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Mishra, coming back to you, what I want to understand is that now this quagmire involves 3 communities.
Yeah.
Is it possible to resolve it in a way which will allow movement of people in near foreseeable future? You think it's impossible? And again, I asked you yesterday, I think you deviated a bit. Sectorization of Manipur. Sectorization of Manipur. Is it complete?
Yeah, I can well tell you. Yes, in fact, I slightly went away when you asked this question yesterday. But I will tell you, in fact, it is Manipur has been now totally divided into 3 groups and 3 areas. But you see, the buffer zone is there. The distrust is there between all these 3 communities, whether it's Maitis or Nagas or Pakul Nagas. But we have to see that the Manipur should develop, and you see, peace should come back. How it will be? Mutual respect should be there between all these 3 communities. It can only be done if all the leaders, whether it's Nemcha Kipken or maybe anybody, they should come forward. They should come for discussion. Yes, 6 Nagas were killed. What Professor Mao was telling, the other way he was telling. I don't want to involve myself in that. But anyway, we failed in our attempt to find out these 6 dead bodies well in advance after 13th May. Of course, it's a mistake by the security department. They didn't have the intelligence. But all these political leaders, whether it's Nemcha Kipken or Honorable Chief Minister or Mr. Govindas, our Home Minister, they should all sit together. This is the time, because Manipur is going out of hand. Violence has increased quite a lot. Particularly, I will let you know the Kamjong district has gone totally disarray. Kamjong district, in fact, anybody can penetrate from Myanmar side, and they have penetrated not this time. They penetrated on 7th May, Mr. Karthikeyan. You know about Choro and Bangalore and Nemle, what happened on 7th May.
You know, when we talk about the border, my question is always simple. I understand the border is porous, but how can, the people are fighting within.
Yeah.
The border was porous even 5 years ago.
Yeah.
The border must have been porous when the free movement regime was in place. But this sort of violence never happened.
Yeah, hold on.
Michael.
Kartike, yes, as you have said, it's sectorization. I also partially agree with it. Now, a point, and now the time have reached. We have reached the point. The Kuki subscriber cannot go through Naga areas, or they cannot go through Meitei areas. One thing is very clear: they are confined in their own areas, which they do claim, like the practical map is clearly visible. All the communities have their own political aspiration, so they all claim that they want to coexist as a neighbor peacefully. So in this situation, you give union territory to the Kuki subscribers, and you give union some kind of arrangement, alternative arrangement to the Nagas and to the Meiteis. You see, Kartikeya, is that the solution? I keep on telling right from day one.
Yeah.
The issue here in Manipur is, one thing is very clear. The issue here in Manipur is of administrative grievances, not the political demand. You cannot solve by giving, political administrative solution here, because everyone is now confined in their own sector, in their own areas. So one thing is very clear, that we should understand that Manipur cannot be balkanized anymore. Even the government of India have the intention to do so, it is not possible. Where all hill, valley, whatsoever are all complementary.
Absolutely.
And we often talk about three communities coming together,
Absolutely.
three communities together. If you look into it, the Kuki, whom we classified as Kuki, the Zomi, the Mar, the Thado, we never identify ourselves a part of Kukizo Council
Okay.
or part of,
Michael,
Kuki.
Michael,
One
I'm
thing
really
is very
running.
clear, Kartikeya, we need to understand, Manipur is a multi-ethnic state, not tri-ethnic state.
Okay, yeah, Manipur is a multi-ethnic state, not a tri-ethnic state.
Yes.
Closing comment from Professor Mao. Sir, your closing comment, sir.
To find a solution, we have to go to the roots of the problem. What are the fundamental basic problem? Structurally, there is no fairness, there is no justice. So that has to be addressed. Secondly, what are the agenda, manifesto of the militant? Supposing we see the map, some of the Zalangam Kuki map has included almost all the lands of Manipur. So this Nagas will never accept unless this is also settled. In spite of talk, negotiation, dialogue, this and that will be meaningless, I tell you.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I will organize. I will organize a debate
Yes.
on this point. I will organize a debate on this
Absolutely.
point, Professor Mao.
Correct,
Thank you
Kartikeya,
for
yes.
reminding me on this Zalingam issue. I will organize debate, and I request you
Definitely.
be there. All of you be there
Certainly,
on
I
this
will be
debate.
there.
Next week, I am
It's
going to
better.
do that. And this is all I had on Point tonight. And I'll see you, all of you, next week at the same time. Thank you and good night.
सिर्फ साल 2014 तक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के लिए साल में पूरे देश में 2 लाख करोड़ रुपए भी खर्च नहीं होते थे। ये मैं पूरे हिंदुस्तान की बात बताता हूं। आज ये 6 गुना अधिक 12 लाख करोड़ रुपए से भी ज्यादा